Kendrick Lamar's GNX.
Went back, power went up, no more handshakes and hugs. The energy only circulate through us. Everybody must be judged.
Now, look, everything that's been said about the album for the most part, as far as fans and the way they see the album and the media, everybody been kind of seemingly on the same accord with saying this is a solid, good effort by Kendrick Lamar, which I would agree. I think the album is really good to great. Perfect, I don't know about perfect, but it's the closest thing to it. But I feel like a lot of people have been missing an important conversation when it comes to this album, and how this album could potentially look in Kendrick's catalog going forward, and while I think it might be and one of his most important albums going forward in the future, and I'll break down why I feel like that. Before I do, man, if you love hip-hop, I don't know if you're a fan of Kendrick Lamar, if you really love this album, man, leave a like, hit the subscribe button, man. It really, really helps the channel. So hit that like button and subscribe.
Go body for body, I hand you a body, I'm probably a better masseuse. I really don't bother nobody, but they running by me if I got a...
Now, when it comes to, when I think about hip-hop, or like if you go back, like, back in maybe late 90s, the early 2000s.
You would just get that whole body laced up with bullet holes and such. Speak the wrong words, man, and you will get touched.
One thing when it come down to hip-hop over these last couple years that I feel like has been really, really missing is regional sound, man. I miss when like all our rappers had, like, when you hear a rapper, like you knew he's from Atlanta, you knew he was from LA, or you knew, like, Bone Thugs was from the mid west or whatever, with their style or whatever. Like that's the one thing I really, really, truly miss about hip-hop. Like when I hear Outkast, Aquemini, and I'm just sitting there like, oh yeah, this sound like I don't live in Atlanta, but this sounds like some country Atlanta stuff, and I'm loving every bit of it. Or like when I put on the Chronic or something and hear Snoop and Dre, it's like I'm listening to it and I'm feeling like I'm on the West Coast. I'm in the studio with Dre and Snoop, and they giving me those LA vibes, and I'm hearing the music and the sonics, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is LA.
Can you shut the fuck up?
Like it's certain rappers that back in the day just had that essence about them, man. I don't know, maybe that's because a lot of them worked with kind of the same producers. So maybe that's why you had that regional sound. Maybe that's why. But yeah, it just seemed like a lot. When it come down to today's rappers, it's like, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not saying the music is like I ain't one of those type dudes. Everything that comes out today is horrible. The music is bad. I ain't one of them type dudes. But I will say, like, I do be a little confused. Like half these people, I don't know where they come from, and I feel like that's kind of a problem. A lot of these people, like, I truly do not know where they come from. And I think I have a theory to why that is, because just like I said earlier on, how maybe we need to go back to people working with that one producer. That's like somebody, if they work with DJ Premier or something. You know what type of sound that's gonna bring in that New York, boom back like essence. Like I feel like that's what's missing. Like a lot of these rappers today, like, are working with just a lot of different producers. Ain't nothing wrong with it, but you get confused. Like you get confused on where guys are from, and it just, I don't know. But one thing, and this is why I feel like this GNX album is important, and like I said before, I don't really hear a lot of people talking about this. One thing I appreciate that Kendrick did on this GNX album, man, it seemed like it was a flag put down the ground. Like, this is everything on this album is West Coast. From even in the beginning when you hear the singer, that's the Mexican singer, that's part of LA culture. So I'm like, oh man, okay, yeah, this is okay. And then obviously when you hear certain like sonics like on Squabble Up and like TV off and different songs, you like, oh yeah, this is West Coast at its finest. And the crazy part about it, I think Kendrick is gonna stay on this timing. Like I remember DJ Head recently, it was he was talking, I think with Ab Soul, They was having a conversation. He was like, man, Kendrick told me this is what he's on. This West Coast pushing this West Coast stuff. This is what he's on, and he said it ain't stopping no time soon. It sound like we got another 4 years of just Kendrick and his West Coast bag, and I'm here for it. Now, you know, Kendrick has always represented the West Coast, so that's nothing new on his albums, but just sonically and the energy, the aggression. I think that's what DJ Harry probably meant when he said this is the time that Kendrick is on going forward. And you know, one thing I hope, like, I just really hope, like, this album maybe, you know, it inspires a lot of people to really get back on the regional tip and really get back to their roots. Everybody really get back to, you know, where they come from and make music that represents that. Hopefully this GNX album, you know, it kind of does, it, you know, pushes that. Because I would love that, man. Like, I would love for Atlanta rappers to sound like Atlanta rappers, but also to, you know, be updated, innovative, and new. But you know, I would just love for people to push that, because I think it's really dope. Because what happens when you do that, when you go back to, like, everybody getting back to their regional roots, sounds, or lingo, what it does is it gives the listeners different experiences. And this what this GNX album did. Like, I felt like I was in LA. You know, Kendrick talking about, you know, him, you know, riding in his GNX, you know, and he riding around, and just like you can feel that vibe, like, oh, you riding around your GNX and just playing all the LA bops, all the LA slaps, and you getting that LA vibe, and it's just, you know, you got the windows down, like, you just, it put me in that mind frame, man. I really hope this album starts that wave. You know, it's kind of interesting too when you think about Kendrick and the battle with Drake, and Drake being the number one guy for the longest. And it's kind of interesting because maybe, obviously, when you had the number one guy, a lot of people just follow suit. And maybe, I don't, this is just a theory, maybe when Drake was like the number one guy, and obviously we know when it comes to hip hop, Canada don't really have like a noticeable sound when it comes to just hip hop. So, you know, obviously Drake is going to work with different people and different everybody, you know, so maybe that's what happened. Maybe that's why we lost, you know, some of that regional sense. And look, I don't want to put all that on Drake, but I don't know, I'm just throwing that out there because I'm confused on why did they even stop in the first place. But I think that's just more just maybe evolution and just different people, you know, growing into their own and different things. But I'm gonna end this video off with saying, man, GNX great album. But man, let me know how y'all feel in the comments, dude. You want hip hop to go back to more regional sounds and more regional things, you know, from these different areas? Do you guys want that, or do you want status quo, or do you want things to just stay how it is now? Leave that in the comments as well. But man, like I said in the beginning, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. It really helps the channel out, man. Yeah, man, I'm out. More regional sounds. Come on, 2025. Let's go.